You are waiting for it. I know you are. You are waiting for that spark. You are waiting for that sudden rush of energy that makes you feel like you can conquer the world. You watch a 3-minute video with epic music and loud shouting. Your heart starts racing. You feel invincible. You promise yourself that tomorrow everything changes. But then tomorrow comes. The music is gone. The shouting is silent. The room is cold. And suddenly you don't feel like it anymore. The spark has died. And you are back on the couch, scrolling, waiting for the next hit of inspiration to save you. Here is the cold, hard truth that will hurt your ego. Motivation is a scam. It is a drug. It is a temporary chemical reaction in your brain that makes you feel productive without actually doing anything. Motivation is the friend who shows up to your party but disappears when it's time to clean up the mess. If you rely on motivation to build your business, your body, or your life, you are already dead. You are a slave to your moods. You are a leaf in the wind, moving only when the weather is nice. But there is another way, a darker, quieter, more powerful way. It is called discipline. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't need music. Discipline doesn't need a reason. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you hate every single second of it. Today, I am going to show you why motivation is keeping you poor and weak. I am going to show you why discipline is the only path to true power. We are going to break down the psychological mechanic of why the most successful people on earth have deleted the word motivation from their vocabulary. If you want to keep waiting for a feeling to save you, close this video. But if you want to become unshakable, stay with. This is the end of your excuses. Think about your biggest regrets. Think about the times you quit. Was it because the task was impossible? No, it was because you lost interest. You weren't feeling it anymore. You let a temporary mood dictate the permanent direction of your life. We live in a culture of feeling. Do what makes you happy. Follow your heart. This is terrible advice. Your heart is a fickle, emotional mess. Your feelings change with the weather, with your last meal, or with how much sleep you got. If you let your feelings drive the car, you will end up in a ditch. Most people are mood driven. They work when they are inspired. They study when they are motivated. They go to the gym when they feel energetic. This is why most people are average. Average is easy. Average is what happens when you only work on the sunny day. But life isn't always sunny. In fact, most of the journey to success is gray. It is boring. It is repetitive. It is exhausting. Success is not a series of mountaintop moments. It is a long, slow grind in the valley of shadow. Motivation is for the amateur. Discipline is for the pro. Motivation gives you the start. Discipline keeps you going when the start is a distant memory. Motivation is a maybe. Discipline is a must. We are going to look at the 6 pillars of discipline that make it a weapon more dangerous than any burst of inspiration. Motivation is a spark. It is bright, it is hot, but it is gone in a second. You cannot build a fire with just spark. You need wood. You need an engine. Discipline is the engine. An engine doesn't ask if it wants to turn over. It turns over because that is what it was built to do. When you are disciplined, your actions become independent of your state of mind. Imagine you are a soldier in a foxhole. Do you think the soldier stays at his post because he is motivated? No, he is terrified. He is cold. He is hungry. He stays there because of discipline, because he has been trained to prioritize the mission over his fear. You need to treat your goals like a military mission. I don't feel like working is not a valid excuse in a war. And make no mistake, you are at war. You are at war with your competition, with the economy, and with the version of you that wants to fail. Stop asking yourself how you feel. Start asking yourself what the mission requires. The mission doesn't care about your feeling. Every time you say, I'll do it later when I'm in the mood, you are admitting that your emotions are your master. You are saying that a chemical fluctuation in your brain has the power to stop your progress. Mental toughness is the ability to ignore that internal monologue. It is the ability to hear your brain say, I'm tired, and answer with, so what? Move anyway. This is called emotional sovereignty. It is the highest form of human freedom. Most people think freedom is doing whatever you feel like doing. That isn't freedom. That is slavery to your impulse. True freedom is the ability to do what you know is right, regardless of what your body wants to do. When you master discipline, you are finally free from the tyranny of your own laziness. You become the commander, and your body becomes the tool. Move 3, the automation of success, the habit loop. Motivation is expensive. It takes a lot of mental energy to pump yourself up. Discipline, over time, becomes cheap. When you do something through discipline for long enough, it becomes a habit. And once it is a habit, it becomes automatic. Look at your morning routine. You don't need motivation to brush your teeth. You don't need to watch a YouTube video to get inspired to wash your face. You just do it. It is a programmed behavior. Discipline is the process of programming your success. If you force yourself to write 1,000 words every morning at 8 a.m., eventually your brain will stop fighting. It will start to expect the work. The resistance fades. The disciplined person has a massive advantage because they don't waste willpower on small decisions. They have already decided. Motivation has to make a new decision every day. Discipline made the decision once and just follows the script. Move 4. Identity architecture, building the fortress. Motivation is something you have. Discipline is something you are. When you rely on motivation, you are always looking outside yourself. You are looking for a video, a quote, or a person to give you energy. You are a beggar. When you practice discipline, you are building an identity. You start to see yourself as a person who doesn't doesn't quit. You start to see yourself as a person who does the hard thing. This identity becomes a fortress. When life gets hard, when you lose money, when a relationship ends, when you get sick, the motivated person falls apart because their external source of energy is gone. But the disciplined person keeps moving. Why? Because that is who they are. You can take away a man's motivation, but you cannot take away his character. Discipline is the process of forging a character that is stronger than your circumstance. Motivation wants the path to be easy. It wants the flow state. It wants everything to feel perfect before it starts. Discipline knows that the hardest part of any task is the first 5 seconds. The moment of transition from not doing to doing. This is where most people fail. They sit on the edge of the bed, thinking about how cold the floor is. Discipline is the ability to kill the thinking phase. You don't think about the cold floor. You just stand up. The dopamine spike that people chase through motivation usually comes after the work has started, not before. By forcing yourself to start through discipline, you actually create the motivation you were waiting for. Stop waiting for the green light. In life, the lights only turn green once you start driving. Discipline is the foot on the gas pedal. Motivation is for the big win. It's for the launch day. It's for the championship game. But life isn't won on the big days. Life is won on the boring Tuesday. It is won on the rainy Wednesday morning when nobody is watching. Success is a compound interest game. It is the result of 1,000 tiny actions that seem insignificant at the time. The motivated person does 10 hours of work in one day and then does nothing for a week because they are burnt out. The disciplined person does 2 hours of work every single day without fail. At the end of the year, the disciplined person hasn't just done more work. They have built a different life. They have built momentum, and momentum is a force that even motivation cannot touch. Let's look at the brain. Motivation is driven by the amygdala and the ventral striatum. These are the primitive, emotional parts of your brain. They are ancient. They are impulsive. They are designed for survival, not for success. They want food, sex, and rest. Discipline is driven by the prefrontal cortex. This is the newest, most human part of your brain. It is the center of logic, planning, and long-term thinking. When you act on motivation, you are acting like an animal. You are reacting to your environment. When you act on discipline, you are acting like a human being. The struggle you feel inside is the war between these two parts of your brain. The monkey brain wants the dopamine now. The human brain wants the success later. Every time you choose discipline, you are physically strengthening the neural pathways in your prefrontal cortex. You are literally making your brain smarter and more capable of handling stress. This is not a metaphor. It is biology. Discipline is the exercise that builds a superior mind. I know it's hard. I know there are days when the weight of the world feels like it's crushing your chest. I know there are days when you look at your goal and they feel so far away that you just want to go back to sleep. I'm not telling you to be a robot. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't feel tired. You are human. You will feel pain. You will feel doubt. But I am telling you that those feelings don't have to stop. There is a deep, quiet pride that comes from doing the work when you are exhausted. There is a respect you gain for yourself when you look in the mirror and know that you didn't take the easy way out. The world will tell you to take it easy. The world will tell you that it's okay to fail. And yes, failure is part of the process. But making excuses is not. You owe it to yourself to see what you are capable of when you stop listening to your feeling. You have a giant living inside you, but you have been keeping him asleep with the lullaby of motivation. It's time to wake him up. It's time to embrace the suck. It's time to fall in love with the grind, because the grind is the only thing that is real. Here is your challenge. Forget your 1-0-year plan for a moment. Forget your big dream. Focus on the next 24 hours. Identify the one task you have been avoiding because you don't feel like it. That one task that has been sitting on your list, mocking you. Do it now. Don't wait for a sign. Don't wait for a feeling. Just move your hand. Just open the laptop. Just put on the shoes. Win the war of the next 5 minutes. And then do it again. Discipline is a choice you make every single second. It is a series of small yeses to the work and nos to the comfort. If you are tired of being a slave to your moods, if you are ready to build a life of iron discipline, then subscribe to this channel. We don't do hacks here. We don't do secret. We do the work. One tap. That is your first act of discipline today. Now, go be dangerous.